have a lot of answers to those questions, but I'll pick out the big ones.
Sure.
That's right. Just the other week, I got a question from a girl. She said a lot of times, people write me anonymously, and they usually don't add their age, but usually by the tone of the writing, I can usually tell if someone's older or younger.
Yeah.
And so this girl, she probably was in college or maybe even like high school, and she said basically, I'm not going to make it graphic, but it does in whatever. Okay, so she basically asked me, she's like, well, I met this guy at a party, and and he offered to drive me home. So he drove me home, and we ended up hooking up. And so she said that a couple of days later, he called her and asked her for a date. They went on a date, and then they hooked up again, and it's been, like, now 2 weeks, and she hasn't heard from him. And so she was like, I really like this guy. Like, what do you think? Is he into me or not? Like, what do you think? And I basically wrote to her, and because this is the thing, my advice is very honest. So I'm not one to be, like, siding with the women. I get letters from women and men.
Okay.
And I don't side with just the women, and I just give practical advice. So I basically said to her, I'm like, listen, okay, this is the thing. Tough love. I gave her some tough love. I'm like, you can make any choice that you want. We all make choices. We free will, whatever. But just know that if you hook up with someone early on when you first meet them, it's probably only going to be that. And I said, I know there's some exceptions. I know some people who have been in long-term relationships with somebody who they, were physical with pretty early on. But generally speaking, that's not going to happen. And so I just said, again, I said, just know for this guy, he's probably only going to see you as this, okay? And I said, I don't mean to be harsh with you, but that's probably the case. I just want you to know what you're dealing with. So the next time it happens, you aren't like, oh, no, what happened? Or I wonder what he's thinking. You have to know, like, people can do whatever they want. You just need to know what the consequences, or just what's going to happen after you make this decision. Because I just think a lot of times people are uninformed, or they think about those things after the fact.
Oh, yeah.
Like, maybe I should think about this before. And so then I'm prepared for what could happen. So I'm not just like, oh, no, well, what's going on here, or whatever,
We don't think about that in this day and age.
I know, it's true. It's just like, do now and then worry and stress and, think about it later. And it's like, well, we would have much less worry and stress if we thought things through beforehand. Another question I get a lot of questions from people. Actually, a lot of men write me questions in terms of...
Really?
Specifically to the point of, like if they're dating somebody, because I focus on the first 6 months of a relationship. So all my questions, I ask that the single people that write me ask me about questions in the early 6 months.
Wow.
Because that's my expertise.
Right.
So, so I had a guy, I have a lot of guys that write me and say, I've been dating this girl for, a few months now. I kind of want to take things to the next level, meaning exclusivity. But I'm not sure if she's interested. X, Y, and Z has happened. Do you think that she would want to, be committed to me? I get a lot of those questions because it is kind of like, you're still trying to figure somebody out and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I get a lot of questions in those terms too of like, do you think, this person's really into me or not? And so that's kind of hard because obviously, I'm a third party that doesn't know all of the details.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, based on the information everyone gives me, I usually can make a judgment. And that's the thing. It's just like if a girlfriend or one of your guy friends or somebody came up to you and they were like, okay, listen to this situation, and then there's something in you that's like, yeah, I think that could be a little weird. You might want to look out for that. I act as an objective third party in people's relationships, basically.
Have you ever had a guy or a girl either get rude or get mad with you?
You mean like someone I gave advice to?
Yeah.
No, not at all. No. I've had, most people are really just, really appreciative that they just have some clarity. Because the thing is, I think once people write me, this is my gut. My gut says that when people write me, they already know the answers to their question.
They just want backup.
Exactly. They just want someone objective to confirm what they're feeling, what their intuition is saying. So I act as that. So when I do that, people are usually appreciative, like, oh, good, now I don't have to stress about this. Does that make sense?
I have a person agreeing with me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone wants that. I mean, I do that with my friends. Like, if something's kind of weird with me dating or otherwise, like career or something, I'll call them up and be like, okay, let me just run this by you. Is this weird? Just to confirm, that I'm not crazy. So I kind of act as that. What else? Oh, I can't remember. I was going to say something else about that, but I totally forgot.
It's okay. So you obviously, when did you first discover that you actually like doing this? Dating advice.
Writing the dating advice? The thing is, this is the thing. I guess, a lot of people who are successful, like the Oprahs of the world and such, they always say do something you enjoy because it's not work. If you do something you really enjoy for work, it's no longer work. And it's one of those things where, my friends and people would come to me for advice quite often. And, it was one of those things where I'm like, gosh, I'm doing this a lot. Like, I would joke around about it, like, gosh, this should be my job. Like, but it's like one of those things where I really do enjoy it. And I guess fundamentally, I'm just realizing this, I feel like this is obviously it's a fun thing I'm doing, but I also do help people. I mean, people have written me letters saying, thank you so much, like, I so appreciate your advice, and, I know nothing. I had a girl or a lady write me the other day, and she basically was saying that she's recently divorced, and she'd been married she's like in her 40s, and she'd been married since she was like 17, and she's never been on a date. And so she had no idea anything about dating at all, and she was like, just thank you so much for, the things that you've written and the advice you've given me, because I really don't know. It's a whole new world for me, And I'm like,
no kidding.
I got like teary-eyed when I read
no
that.
Kidding.
I'm like, I'm not changing the world here, but I'm actually, I'm having fun, but I'm also helping people, and that means a lot to me. It really does. But I tell all the people I write, I'm like, just keep me posted and let me know if I can help you again, or just let me know how everything turns out, because I really do care. It's like, like I said, I have fun with dating, but I'm aware of it, but a lot of people don't.
Exactly.
So, and it's like, for me, it's like, okay, realistically, if we're, say you could very well, you meaning people, could very well be single for a good 30 years before you meet someone you want to marry. If you're factoring in, like, maybe the age of, like, 16 or 18
Yep.
to, like, if you're 40 or something. That's a long time to hate life. And people hate it. People hate dating and avoid it. It's like, why go through life like that, You
Yep.
got to find some way to enjoy it. It really shouldn't be awful. For girls at least, you're going out. Someone's probably taking you out for a night on the town, even though it's not like you're not with the guy of your dreams. This is another human being that wants to take you out. Have fun with it,
Wow.
Or with guys, there's a girl that's saying, yeah, I want to go out with you. So have fun with her for, and then,
No kidding.
Be friends afterwards. So
What do you say, what do you want to do next? What's in line in the near future for Erin?
Okay, well, a few things. I have a book that should be coming out hopefully by the end of this year. I'm still working on a title, but it's basically a dating how-to manual for the first 6 months, since that's my expertise. So I have a chapter on, since we discussed it, I have a chapter on how to be friends with an ex. So I run down, like, the tips and how, like, the process of how you can become friends with an ex. I have tips on, where to meet people. I have a whole chapter on how to do online dating if you're interested and haven't ever done it, and what to look out for. Yeah, so it's just all those things that you experience in the first 6 months I've tried to cover in this book. So that's coming out later this year. But also I've been contacted by a network to possibly do a show revolving around my dating advice. I don't know what's happening with that. Yeah, it's fantastic. So, things are happening.
No kidding. I got to tell you that I have interviewed a lot of people, and I won't say nobody, but there's a small handful of people that got so much life in their voice that you do.
Oh, thank you so much. It's so nice. I really appreciate that. Really.
Very, very entertaining. The passion that you have for what you're doing is very easy to read in your voice. I hope the listeners catch that too. Do you want to, once again, I know you mentioned a few sites at the start of the show. Do you want to tell the listeners where all they can find you and your show?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I am the Dating Advice Girl. If you do a Google search, I'm on page 1 now, which is very exciting.
Ooh.
So, The Dating Advice Girl, or my name, Erin Tillman, ErinTillman. You can find either one of those on Facebook. I'm on Facebook under Erin Tillman and the Dating Advice Girl. I'm on YouTube under the Dating Advice Girl. I'm on Twitter under Dating Advice Girl with no I in the word girl. Yes, I'm basically everywhere. But yeah, do a Google search, The Dating Advice Girl, and I'm on page 1, and there I am, and you'll see my website. My website is The Dating Advice Girl as well. So I'm everywhere.
Congratulations, Erin. I want to thank you so much. Number one, I want to thank you so much for replying to my email when I contacted you. I want to thank you for making time. I know you're a busy, busy lady. Lots going on in your life, as you just told us, and that's probably just the tip of the iceberg. Probably as soon as we get off the show here, you're going to be going, damn, why didn't I talk about this? So I want to thank you for taking the time out and talking to us on a weekend and sharing some of yourself and some of your advice and some of your life with us. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you. It's my pleasure, and thank you for just having me on your show. It's fantastic. I love it.
Thanks to our syndicated Frankie over at Radio Dentata, and thanks to Kitty Cavey, my producer, who's a little under the weather right now, who takes care of the studio and the website for me, and I don't know what I'm going to do now with her under the weather, but that's just the way it goes. But I want to let Erin get back to her busy, busy schedule for her next show, I guess. Just once again, I don't want to leave without saying thank you very much, Erin Tillman. It's been a complete, incredible pleasure to meet you and talk to you.
Oh, you too. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Okay, take care of yourself. Maybe keep us updated on your book and everything that's going on, and take care of yourself.
Okay, you too. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.